Most people are busy. Very few people are strategic. They react. They chase short-term wins. They mistake motion for progress. But strategists? They play a different game. They build long-term value. They see patterns others miss. And they make moves today that pay off for years. In this video, you'll learn the 7 mental powers of a strategist. Not theory, but practical ways of thinking that can make you calm, focused, and quietly unstoppable. This isn't about being smarter. It's about thinking better. What does strategic really mean? When people say, be more strategic, what do they actually mean? It's not about having a fancy title. It's not about being aggressive, dominant, or the loudest voice in the room. Being strategic is about how you think. The best strategists don't react to noise. They filter it. They don't chase everything. They choose deliberately. And across industries, cultures, and time, they all seem to share the same 7 mental powers. Let's break them down one by one. 1. Long-term mindset. The first power is a long-term mindset. Strategists focus on building something that lasts. They understand that most meaningful results don't come quickly. They compound. While others obsess over short-term outcomes, strategists ask, what would my future self thank me for? They set 3 to 5-year goals, not because they know the future, but because direction creates momentum. They think in systems, habits, processes, and they show up consistently, even when results aren't visible yet, because they know progress often looks flat right before the inflection point. 2. Second-order thinking. Most people stop at the first effect of a decision. Strategists don't. They ask a simple question, and then what? Second-order thinking means looking past the immediate result and considering the ripple effects. If this works, what breaks? If this fails, what do I learn? If this succeeds, what new problems appear? They map scenarios. They challenge assumptions. They even ask, what could go wrong? If this goes right, this mindset helps them avoid traps that look good today, but cost heavily tomorrow. 3. Problem solving. Strategy is problem solving every single day, but not surface-level fixes. Strategists break complexity down. They turn vague problems into clear questions. Instead of asking, why is this failing? They ask, what specifically is broken and why? They use tools like the 5 whys to uncover root causes. They divide big challenges into smaller, solvable parts, and instead of copying solutions, they design ones that fit the real problem, creating value, not just activity. 4. Storytelling. Even the best strategy fails if no one understands it. That's why strategists are storytellers. They translate complexity into meaning. They don't overwhelm with data. They guide with clarity. A simple structure often works best. Here's the challenge. Here's the big idea. Here's the action. They lead with the answer, then support it with evidence. They use metaphors, visuals, and language their audience cares about. Because people don't follow logic alone. They follow meaning. 5. Decision making. Strategists don't wait for perfect information. They know clarity often comes after action, so they gather what matters. Then they decide. They separate decisions that are reversible from those that aren't. They move fast on low-risk choices, slow and deliberate on irreversible ones. They weigh impact versus effort. They eliminate what doesn't matter, and they practice explaining their decisions, because clarity in thinking shows up as clarity in communication. 6. Synthesis. Today, information is everywhere. Insight is rare. Strategists don't just collect data. They synthesize it. They ask one powerful question. So what? They organize information visually. They connect dots across sources. They look for patterns, contradictions, and deeper meaning where others see noise. Strategists see structure. They form a point of view, not based on one fact, but on how multiple insights fit together. This ability to bring clarity is one of the most valuable skills in the modern world. 7. Force multiplier. The final power is leverage. Strategists look for moves that multiply results. They ask, what's the smallest action that could create the biggest shift? They focus on the 20% of effort that drives 80% of outcomes. They build repeatable systems. They invest in tools and people that increase their capacity. Because strategy isn't about working harder. It's about applying force at the right point. As Archimedes said, "Give me a lever long enough and a fulcrum on which to place it, and I shall move the world." Becoming a strategic thinker is not about changing who you are. It's about upgrading how you think. Think long-term. Think in consequences. Solve real problems. Tell clear stories. Decide with logic. Synthesize meaning. And use leverage wisely. Do this consistently. And over time, you won't just react to the world. You'll shape it.